Hello everybody, welcome back to FTL's Advanced Captain's Edition ship mods. Steering away from the usual project again, I've got a new ship mod installed. This one created by Federation Scum. It's 3 for the price of 1 on this one, so rather than just doing a showcase and then off to a full run, I'm just going to do partial runs with all 3 of them. Well, you can see the first one here straight away, the Deimos Bombers designed to incite terror in those who must face the ship's constant massive Lanius boarding parties. Anyway, I'm not alone on this one. I've actually got the original creator with me. Federation Scum, say hello.
Hey everybody, this is Federation Scum.
Yes. Alright, so Deimos, let me hear it.
Say again. Sorry.
Alright, so I'm watching at the Deimos here. It's pretty obvious what this one is all about. 4 Lanius, 4-slot teleporter makes sense. But anyway, what's the story behind it, if there is one?
Well, the story behind this, the Deimos, is actually the most simplest of the lore I wrote up. It's basically, I guess you could say, like the crew rebelled against the more scavenging half of their race, and decided to modify their bomber because they were inspired by the Mantis to create a 4-person teleporter. Other than that, it basically resembles the enemy layout that you see in the game when you encounter these guys. So it's the most basic. It's just a straight-up bomber with a 4-person teleporter, but that also makes it cathartic because you rarely ever get an opportunity to use 4 Lanius.
True enough, they're pretty scarce in the game. We're starting off pretty brilliant already. A slug light surveyor fighting in a pulsar, and it has mind control. Anyway, I think I'll be fine. I'm just ditching the one mind control dude and immediately attacking weapons. Well, it's looking fine. I'm gonna get hit by a mine though, because I am playing this one on Captain's Edition.
Oh, that's right. As far as I know, it should work just fine on Captain's Edition.
Yeah, I looked at the code. It all checks out.
Perfect.
I mean, usually the only thing you need to do to make a ship CE compatible is just give it a room for a artillery, but seeing how artillery can be bothering your ship, it really doesn't matter anyway. Right.
Yeah, I mean, unless these ships are built for it, I don't think a small ship like this would have a badass gun hidden up its arsenal somewhere.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting concept, just not giving it weapons and going with artillery instead. Then again, you will be stuck with just one weapon for the entire game.
That and the really, really, really long charge-up times.
Well, you can set those the way you want it. I mean, I've got artillery that takes 35 seconds. I know there's one in CE that only takes 30. It takes a bit more effort to get it right because you need to adjust the charge bars.
Oh yes, I remember that. If you don't do it, it kind of is very misleading because you think it has to go all the way up.
Yeah. Well, you can do a lot with GIMP, and CE handles it pretty elegantly as well with different bars on it. Alright, well that first event went pretty well. Also installed the custom hull mod. Don't know if you're planning on incorporating that. It should be fine, I think.
Yeah, I think it should work just well. I'd have to take a look at the code. I'm pretty. It's basically just a HUD change. It probably would be a good idea not to play any other ships while having this for that and other reasons because. Actually, I forgot to mention that there are some systems you can't install on this ship, and it's Two Brethren.
Yep. Bit of an issue with drone control on that one.
Yeah, drone control, I think, is hard-coded into the game, just like the shield system.
Not as badly, though. I mean, shield systems, if you don't have shields and you find shields, you find systems in a store, shields will be there. It's just hard-coded as hell.
Drone control,
not so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got our first crew member. He's gonna have a bad day.
Oh man. Actually, in the old version of Deimos, it had a backup DNA. I mainly kept it there because the original ship could not have oxygen installed. So basically, it would have it so you have a backlog of crewmen in case you would start regenerating them when you actually needed them while your Lanius were doing their thing, but it was just really annoying constantly bringing them back to life. And
well, that's kind of what we're stuck with now.
yeah. In that case, I think a med bay is somewhat a better alternative for this kind of situation because you can just stick them in the med bay. But, you know, because if the clone bay goes down, well, they're gone. They're gone. There's no way to avoid it.
Poor NG. Ah, that's gonna be great. Alright, just had our next encounter in a sun. Pretty good. It's kind of weird. I'm using the alternate HUD and it's just orange from the start. Probably thing to do with the amount of hull and then the game setting from there to there, that color, from there to there, that color. Ooh, I can buy oxygen now. I don't have to scrap for it. Brilliant.
Oh, I know how that feels.
Alright, heading into a nebula, that's always a problem. And we're fighting a, yep, auto ship. Wonder what happens if I port everyone in. Ah, cool.
Well, if you pour everyone in, if the clone bay and the teleporter go down, basically game over for you if you send everyone in. It's a risk, but if you take out the weapons quick enough and only one of those two go down, you shouldn't have too many issues.
Yeah. Well, it took them out. Well, it took out the weapons and shields and stuff. Now we're just waiting for the FTL to charge, which needs to be done by the NG who keeps dying. Oh well.
Just hope you find another store quite soon.
Well, the rebel fleet is a bit behind me, so I might be able to make it back. Although I would need a lot of scrap from this one.
Should be about maybe a bit of a spoiler, but oxygen is 30 scrap.
Yeah, I've noticed it already. Had the same thing done with the anomaly on my end and the Raptor. I mean, it's great that you can get rid of the oxygen, but why the hell would they set default pricing at 0 for that? I mean, even weapons, which comes at every ship, starts off with a default pricing of 20. It's kind of odd.
They probably assumed that, well, it depends, I guess, because I bet the creator originally thought that Lanius were probably too powerful to have more than 2 on a ship, and so also getting rid of oxygen would severely limit like how many people you can have on your ship. And considering just how rare Lanius are, well, they're not that rare, but they're still fairly rare. There's a chance you may not even encounter any in a game at all.
That's true. I mean, CE circumvents it a little bit because you can talk to your crew and get them that way. Cost you a fair amount as well.
Oh yes, I know. I actually, just because I wanted to know what happened, I spent like 50, 60 scrap just to get another Lanius, and it really screwed me over.
The brilliance of mods, right? You can just set things the way you want them.
Yeah, it's that too.
So, if I'm not mistaken, you can still buy cloaking and mind control on this one, right?
Yes, the way the systems are set up on the ship is that they very closely follow the original Lanius Bomber that you encountered in the game. The only exception is that you can install oxygen. So you get mind control and cloaking. A very unusual combination of support systems, to say the least, but that's what you get.
Kind of interesting that it makes the entire drone part useless. You don't need drones for anything.
You know, you can use them for the odd trade, like for instance, you know those events where they give you those really terrible deals to buy drone parts off you?
Yeah.
So now you'll take it because you have no use for them. Now you get free scrap for it.
Alright, well, the NG's dead.
The Columbe went down?
Yeah, an asteroid hit me. Or was it a missile? I don't know anymore. Anyway, seems like I'm finding a lot of hazard sectors. I had a pulsar already, I had a solar flare already, and now I'm in an asteroid field.
Oh, go ahead.
Playing on normal, by the way.
It's possible to play the Deimos on hard. I did beat the game on hard with Deimos, although originally it came with a breach bomb, but there were many outcries that was just way too much.
Man, I just sent 4 Lanius into their weapons room. The air out of there was gone like you wouldn't believe it. Crew didn't even have time to enter the room.
That's the dream, and it's a reality. That was my dream for the longest time. I've only ever like officially gotten it once in a regular game FTL. I believe it was on Captain's Edition. I was playing the Lanius B. Sector 4, it was one of those hazard. Well, it wasn't a hazard sector. It was one of those industrial ones. With,
with the smog.
Clouds.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can buy Lanius there, and basically, I found two different shops, both of them selling Lanius, and I decided, 100 scrap. But you know what? Just buy it. So I had 4 Lanius as part, and that was literally my main offense because the only weapon I had was my beginning flat gun.
Yeah. Well, Captain's Edition isn't meant to be played on hard mode. Even Sleeper Service said that.
That's true, yeah.
He's actually planning on changing the name Hard to, like, Nightmare or something. I wonder if that could actually be done.
I think wasn't there... I'm pretty sure there was already a mod where someone, like, made it so that every enemy ship has maximum reactor capability, has max system upgrades, has at least 2 shields the first encounter.
Yes, the Insane Difficulty mod.
No.
Play that one because there were custom ships involved with it as well. They look pretty cool, exceptionally overpowered, but
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to give it a try before I knock it down. But it seems like it would just be really RNG dependent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you start off with an overpowered ship, it balances it off a bit. I got my first weapon, and it's a mine launcher. Congratulations. Available. I've got a charge laser, which I can get if I sell the charge. Alright, we got our first weapon in. 4 shots for 3 power.
At least the Zoltan ships won't be giving you trouble.
Well, I still need 3 system power in my weapons first.
True, but it'll take a little more time, but you have the weapon. That's the one thing I always noted about Captain's Edition. I mean, this is distracting away from the Deimos a bit, but I made it clear that the one thing I don't like about Captain's Edition is that there's so much variety, which is nice, but there's so much variety that weapons often get pushed out, and when you really need some weapons to give you an actual possible chance in future combat, you just don't find them. So you're under-equipped for those battles. But,
yeah. Well, this could be a problem. Targeted by PDS, and I only have 7 hull left.
Ooh.
Let's try to kill the crew quickly. There's no way I'm getting out of here in time, otherwise.
Wow.
At least the ship doesn't have a medbay or clone base, so that should help.
Oh yes. Just keep in mind that as soon as they try scampering for the door, you best give chase if you want to kill them as soon as possible.
And we're safe. Also got an augment that suits the ship very well.
Which one is it?
Emergency respirators.
Yeah, that actually might be pretty helpful, especially if there happens to be a hole breach and the Lanius aren't there to fix it.
Drones are now priced at 925.
Yeah, it's the best we could do, I guess.
Well, door systems here, mind controls here. Can't actually do anything with them. Let's get rid of the gel suits. See if you can get that weapon online. Cool. Alright. Engage the turret. Of course. It's always a bit of a crapshoot on where your alliance is going to end on a auto ship. If you port in too many.
Yeah, I think honestly the hardest ones to face are the ones where every single room is split up from each other because it leads to, well, it's more of a problem if your ship has a med bay, because if they're trapped in that room, they're automatically going to try and destroy that room, even if the enemy ship has 1 hull and you can't pull them out in time. I learned that the hard way in Crystal B, as you will know.
Yeah. There's worse things, like learning that artillery is still on when you're boarding is a bad idea.
Actually, the other thing is, as infamous as that sounds, as I've heard many people fall with that fate. I've never really had a problem with that, probably because I heated that device early. And I don't really use Fed A and Fed B much.
Neither do I.
Fed C is the only ship with artillery that I've used often with artillery, and even then, it's not like the flak are actually going to hit the ship often.
They're probably just used to strip shields.
Mostly.
What's wrong now? Alright. 4 hull left. Well, so we don't encounter missiles or mines, or swarms. Missile launcher, huh? Hey, this is the one where you can get insta-killed if you surrender. Cool. Power up the weapons. Oh.
You know, one thing I've realized when, apparently from this, and also from my own playthrough, is that the Deimos and its brethren are, they get beaten up very easily, mostly because their defenses are kind of pitiful starting out to make up for the fact that you have Lanius boarding crew and whatnot. So the missiles are just, evil. They really just tear you apart.
Yeah, I think this run's already going to be over. Yep. Well, at least we can see the Gibbs work. Alright. Hey, it worked.
Let's just hope nobody's like, oh man, that ship sucks. It just got blown up earlier in the game.
Oh, don't worry, I've had worse. Well, starting up a new one. It's pretty much my own fault. I always port everyone in, and missiles have free reign, so.
Yeah, well, I think that makes cloaking much more valuable. Mind control is fun and all. It makes your boarding much more efficient, but cloaking is just, the
absolute worst. Giant alien spiders. Got a clone bay. Okay. I mean, having less hull is pretty deceptive, really.
Say again?
Having less hull than 30 is kind of deceptive because the bar is still just as long. It just goes down quicker.
Indeed. But if you have the hull modification, HUD modification, sorry, it makes it a little easier. It's just something to get used to over time. That's all.
Doesn't really work very well, though. I mean, if I get damaged, it's not an entire block that goes away.
Yeah,
it's kind of odd.
I noticed that too. Like, I thought I had 6 hull, and then I go to the store and it says 5, and I'm like, okay, good thing I now know that. Otherwise, a nasty breach would have killed me or something.
Oh, we got a new crew member already again. This time it's a Mantis. I can send him over instead of Lanius.
Which ship is this again?
Deimos.
Okay, let's do the Deimos.
Yeah, we'll do the other ones on a different episode.
Alright.
Send over the Mantis so he doesn't die. Cool.
It's the most opportune strategic thing I've ever thought of. Or you, I should say.
It's kind of interesting having to take down ships that have a med bay. You kind of destroy the weapons first, then you go for auction, and then when all the auction is gone, you go for the med bay.
You can, after the oxygen is destroyed, you can go to the oxygen immediately, just to vent it, and then leave. Eventually, what they'll do is that they'll just sit in there. They won't ever leave that room. It's kind of funny.
The AI can do some weird stuff on a vented ship with a functioning med bay. They go in, they go out, they go in, they go out, they go in, they go out. Alright, so their med bay is useless now because there's no air in it anymore. He just left the med bay. Cool. Free the slave, because I can't take him. Damn UCE and piracy and stuff. That's the one thing I really found annoying. You can't accept slaves anymore. Ah, well.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I just remembered. CE made it an issue to, take slaves, even though technically you're responsible for saving their lives. And basically, you're like, no, sir, we totally don't need more help around here. Send him out.
Well, there is a chance that if you release him, he still offers to join your crew.
Or if he happens to be a Federation ensign.
Yeah.
I can just imagine, like, you're looking at the ensign, and he's all beaten up and terrified about everything he's gone through, and he's like, "Son, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to go with the Lanius on boarding parties. I know it sucks. I know they're gonna kill you.
There's a perfectly fine computer for you right there on the engines.
Have a seat and get working."
Yep. Well, they don't even get a seat unless it's in the piloting room. Mantis, you can fly the ship for now, right? Yeah, you can. Well, so far so good. Go looking for... It's a lot easier if you don't encounter ships with missiles.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get a lucky run where, like, a few ships every now and then won't have missiles. Like, maybe 2 out of 3 encounters won't have missiles. That's ideal for any ship, honestly, but unless you have a defense drone or cloaking.
And then you have the well-known fire curse. I don't know if it ever noticed you, but on all my ships that start off with having to use fire, I will always encounter either AI ships, ships with Rockman in it, or ships with NGs in it. Without failure. It's like the game knows, man. The game knows.
The game has a sick sense of humor.
Hey! If you find a weapon system on the ship, charge missile Mark II. That can be useful. I'm sorry, Mantis, but I'm going to have to bring you back into the ship. Okay, can we get that online? Yes, we can. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think most of the ship has been said and done. So now we're looking at new projects. Got anything in mind? Yeah, screw it. Okay. Auto focus beam.
Auto focus beam? I guess it's the fast shooting variant.
Yeah, the pixel beams, the ones that are a pain in the butt to aim.
Focus beams. I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings on. Maybe I just kind of like them just because of that one encounter with the Maul focus beam, which, you know, can pierce through any number of shields and do 1 damage.
Yeah, but it takes 4 power though.
Takes 4 power and takes 25 seconds to charge. But I guess anything that can, like, disable the missile room on the flagship has 2 shields is okay in my book.
Sure. I mean, if you have a way to strip down shields, you can do 5 system damage in one go. That's pretty much. This ship cannot do piracy. Okay.
If I ever created CE variants of these ships, I would probably equip them with certain augments to give them extra options. I mean, technically, the one thing about the Lanius, the lore as it goes, even, you know, the original lore, is that they're scavengers. The metal is what they need to survive, and it's also what they're born from, if we're going by CE's lore.
Yep.
And the Deimos is I wouldn't say the Deimos is a scavenger or a pirate. It's the most standard, and I'm trying to think of what we would use to make it, you know, suited to its role and give it some extra clout.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in C that you can make good use of, and you don't have to worry about compatibility with AE, because if you find a blueprint that the game doesn't recognize, it just doesn't give you the thing.
Yeah, I think there would be something to look for. It's looking to look into. Let's see.
Come on. There we go.
I think gel suits would go well. Well, actually, we'll get to that when we get to it. When we get with the to the second variant.
Yeah.
Deimos. Deimos. What now? I guess I'll just give it some thought. All I'm gonna do is just ramble on like, I think this could no. I think this no.
I know the feeling. I mean, the good thing about C is he's allowing you to use his resources. I mean, it's like, ooh, that looks cool, I want to use that. It's perfectly fine. I mean, it can take a while until you get the hang of grabbing a weapon from that and making it AE compatible, but it does work.
Actually, I just had a thought. Just because it has a big teleporter, maybe Deimos could be a trading ship. You know, give it a cargo teleporter.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, the lore that I wrote up essentially states. Let me go ahead and find it real quick. And I'll just.
Oh, you poor mantis! I poured him over to get him to safety, but I poured him into a room that was on fire. From asphyxiation to fire. You poor thing.
It's hell on a Lanius ship. Alright. Let's see here. Okay, so basically, Deimos is... It says here that the renovation work that they did for their teleporter has taken resources away from other assets normally installed on board the bomber. Basically, you know, they went over budget, I guess you could say. So I guess, but if they're going to go all that effort to get themselves a great old teleporter, they could use it for cargo transport too.
Yep. Cargo teleporter is pretty darn strong in Captain's Edition. Basically gives you a free turn, otherwise you lose on a... You lose one jump, pretty much. Otherwise...
What do you mean?
Well, if you don't have a cargo teleporter, usually when you sell or buy trade goods, the fleet advances. With the cargo teleporter, they don't.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, you're talking. Oh yeah, I remember that. Anytime if they don't have a cargo transporter, basically the fleet can catch up.
Yeah.
Although, thinking about all that now, I think my favorite occurrence of that kind of event is when I went to a mercenary base and I decided I'm going to see how far this goes. So my character drinks himself to death practically.
Yeah. Good times. Okay. Well, I'm almost out of Sector 1 again.
Has it been going more smoothly, I hope?
Yeah, a lot less missile launchers. Had a few clone bays and had to just take out a station with a level 3 med bay, but other than that, fine. It's kind of fun that the crew starts running when the air is almost, well, their health is almost gone. Like that's gonna do you any good. Heavy charger. Ooh.
It can be a little annoying if they have blast doors because they delays your efforts. If they have like a missile launcher or something and you're not in the weapons room, then it basically just stalls you.
Yeah. I do have a charged missile launcher, also have a autofocus beam, and already got a heavy charger. All in Sector 1.
That's a lot of nice goodies, and with your boarding crew, taking out shields shouldn't be that much of a good issue. It's a pretty good starting position. Now you just gotta upgrade your defenses for the most part. Try to get those engines.
Alright. Lanius Salvage Operation 6. Seems like a good sector to go to. Maybe we can get some more. Oh, there goes the Mantis again.
If you do get more, you could probably forsake oxygen altogether and not even have to get doors or let's see. Or basically, you don't have to get doors, and you can keep the ship mortar and fireproof.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main strategy for most people.
It depends.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. It depends. I mean, if you encounter a Lanius sector much later in the game, then you know it won't really be as viable. By that point, you've probably already got oxygen, just so you can have more crew for the flagship.
You immediately do a short-range scan after arriving at the beacon. It appears to be coming from a small civilian vessel under fire from a Lanius ship. Not all Lanius are simply scavenging the wrecks of previous battle. 3. Lanius crew. Have your crew admonish their captain. Hey, and it's just a fight. Okay. Useful. Thought I would get a special event or something. Nope.
Nah, all he'll basically do is like, hey, that's not nice.
Slap on the fingers. Oh, you bastard. You hacked my teleporter. Well, there's only 2 of you and there's 4 of us. My teleporter's hacking is down. No more life sign detected on Lanius ship. I don't think you get that message all too often.
What was the message again?
No more life signs on a Lanius ship. I don't think it happens all too often.
Well, yeah, I can definitely agree with that sentiment.
Right, 1 more in the weapons. Maybe we can finally get a weapon online. Just in time for enemies to start having 2 layers of shields. Combat augment. Oh no, they're using dirty tactics. No, it's not that one. No, I can't hack. That's it. Okay.
So in other words, they have a useless augmentation on you.
That's something that really caught me by surprise on Captain That enemy ships had augmentations as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Clone Bay's out.
Kind of... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Clone Bay's out. And I'm boarding. Gee. Okay, let's switch some people around.
Perfect.
That should be fine.
Actually, if you end up at a battle with a Lanius Bomber, take a picture of that, just for the sense of irony.
It's a Lanius Scout at the moment. And there goes the Mantis. That was fun.
Well, he served you well. I mean, it's not like you gave him the most pleasing experience. He's probably like, I'm sick of this.
I'm alive! I'm dead. I'm alive! I'm dead. Anyway, we've got a replacement, Lanius A. Rockman. At least it'll stick it out a bit longer. Probably.
You got a Rockman in a Lanius sector?
Yeah. Don't know how to pull that one off. Madness. Utter madness. But whatever, right? We're not here to complain.
No.
Never. Well, I had a bit of an error, a lack of judgment on that automatron run I did. You know, with AI ships, you kind of need a system repair drone, right? And preferably also a... Oh, there goes 5 hull damage. That's the worst. Well, the Rockman's dead again. Clone Bay got taken out by an asteroid.
Oh.
And I got taken out by the same asteroid field.
What? You actually got destroyed by an asteroid field?
I had level 2 shields, but it's one... I've noticed that on Captain, if you go into an asteroid field through some events and there's no ship, the asteroids are just ludicrously fast coming at you.
Yeah, I do remember that too. I guess I can't be too surprised. Captain's Edition did make asteroid fields actually a threat to be in.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut this one here. It's pretty sure that's a good showcase for the Deimos. So I'm going to cut it here. Thank you, Federation Scum, for joining me on this one.
No problem.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're still enjoying the series. If you show support by commenting, liking, or subbing if you haven't already. Links to all 3 ships will be in the description as always. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
See ya.